All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We had a little lead gen call happening. Had to let my boy win. So we are good. Okay, guys, so today we are gonna focus on creating open house and property landing pages, but we're actually gonna work it the other way around. We're gonna start with landing pages first for the property landing page, and then do the open house page. Okay, so what you guys are gonna see, I put together a presentation based off of an article on answers.kw.com. So if you are unaware, KW has an amazing website with almost every answer we ever needed. Is answers.kw.com. Go in there, type in what it is that you're needing. And for the most part, you're gonna have an article with breakdowns of photos and descriptions and everything. So it's pretty great. So what I did was I took the article and I just broke it up into slides to make it very digestible for you guys today, okay? All right, so couple of things I have to be able to put. All right, we'll put that. Just a friendly reminder from your lovely office, please remember to respect the TCPA, make sure that you guys are being compliant when it comes to that. Checking before you are calling or texting someone, making sure you're not doing any type of mass communication to strangers. Please don't text people you don't know, okay? And if they tell you I'm on the do not call list, don't argue with them, just politely apologize and hang up, okay? So just keep compliant and we'll be good to go. Shout out to Adrian. All right, so one of the most important things to look at before going into your website and checking and changing things or trying to create new things is you want to make sure your marketing profile is fully up to date. The reason why is because your marketing profile is going to be able to pull that information into both your website and your application. So if your marketing profile is not correct, that means the information that's on your website and your app is going to be incorrect as well. And I mean, it could be your name, your contact phone number, making sure your headshot is in there. If you have a personal logo, making sure your logo's in there, all that good stuff. So before I move forward, I am going to show you guys where this lives in the system. This call is being recorded, so no worries if you can't catch it this first time. But you want to log into Command. You jump over to your name at the top right. You go to Settings. Now, once you're in Settings, on the left-hand side, you're going to see Connect Settings, and you'll see Marketing Profile. I do not want this to get confused with My Profile. So you see, when I first click on my name, there is an option that says My Profile. Please do not go there. You need to go to Settings, Connect Settings, and Marketing Profile. Once you are in the marketing profile, you will see things such as your headshots, a space for a logo if you have one, and then all of your information. One of the biggest tips I am going to provide to you is here under bio, you're going to have mobile phone and office phone. Now, automatically, they will enter your brokerage office phone number into there. However, I disagree. I believe you should delete the office phone number and put your cell phone number twice. Or if you have two phones, Kevin Gates, you can definitely do two phones, okay? But you gotta make sure that you enter your contact info, because what happens is they're gonna call the office and guess what? You're not here. I have 5 of you that are, or 4 of you that are on Zoom, which means you guys definitely wouldn't be here to answer the call. So I wanna make sure that the client understands, oh, there's their phone number. All right, so that's my biggest tip when it comes to that marketing profile. Then down below, you'll see a markets and a brokerage section. That is where the office line should live. Should not live under your information. And down here, make sure your socials are up to date, because on the website, they can also click and they'll be able to be redirected to your socials. Okay. And then please make sure you hit save. If you did all those changes and don't hit save, unfortunately, there is no like saving draft for the profile. You just have to complete and then automatically hit save. Once you do that, it'll say your marketing profile was successfully saved. From now, it'll make your work easier, and it can kind of bring in other things as well. Connect Settings, marketing profile. All right. Now, once your marketing profile is good to go, you're truly ready to go in and create and have some fun. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back to the presentation. We're gonna jump in. So first thing we're gonna look at are the new property landing pages. So with this new website experience, they just launched about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, this property landing page feature. So this is gonna be a really cool opportunity for you. The moment you get a listing, you should be doing this. You should have this ready, so that way, whenever you wanna share the listing on any of your social media platforms, you have a link directly to your listing, okay? Now, if you guys use the MLS at a high level, you know that the MLS can also give you one of those links. However, if you're using Command as your CRM, you want to use a Command landing page. That way, anybody that goes in and submits their information, it goes directly into your Command. You're not having to do anything manual or pay API Nation to sync it in. This avoids a middleman and it goes directly into your Command, okay?
So
all right.
What about the other settings?
In the marketing profile you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, so those are going to be other things regarding Command. That's not going to be what we're discussing for today's class. For today's class, it's really just making sure your marketing profile is all good. Yep. Great question. All right, so access to get to your website, to make it really simple, the moment you click into Command, it's going to be the last option called Consumer on the left-hand side. And then it's going to bring you to the page that you see that screenshot of. It'll say Manage My Website, and you can click Edit. So again, when you're in Command, it's the last applet, and it's going to say Consumer. Then you'll see that page that you see on the screen here, and you hit Edit My Website. Once you hit Edit My Website, it's going to bring you to our dashboard.
This is the last one?
The last applet in Command.
Oh, this?
Yep. So Consumer, and then you'll see that blue and white page, Edit My Website. Once you hit it, brings you to the dashboard, and you'll see a section that's called Quick Start, and it's going to have a ton of other options here. And so the one we're looking at is the property landing page template. Yep. When you click on the property landing page template, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is select the listing and featured image or video. So you can go in, you can do it by street address, by MLS number, etc. My suggestion, which I bolded, is your MLS ID. Your MLS number for that listing is going to be the best way to find the listing when you're going to create a property landing page, okay? You're going to select the listing from the results dropdown, and then you will see the listing photos and information auto-populate in the landing page preview, which if you look at this little screenshot video thing, on the left-hand side is where you're going to customize, and then on the right-hand side is going to be the preview. So anything you do on that left-hand side will show on the right-hand side, okay?
It's different.
It's not, it's actually the same. Look, so you have featured listing and then your preview, page title. So all we're focusing on right now is a featured listing. Do you have a listing right now?
No.
Now again, MLS number is going to be easier. One of the main reasons why is because let's say that house was also for sale 4 years ago. If you just put in the property address, it's going to show both listings. It'll show yours and the previous one. And it's really hard to tell the difference because the only difference you can see in the dropdown is that MLS number. So yes.
So obviously you create the listing in MLS before because Command draws from.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So the question was, we're creating the MLS listing or the listing in the MLS first. Yes, because in order for us to pull it, it must be live in the MLS first. So great question. And if you have an old listing, that works too. If you remember any of your old listing addresses, we can try that. All right. Once you do get the listing, you'll see that the drop-down will be filled in with the full property address. Then you'll have a page title. So what do you want it to be titled? The property address. It could be living luxury in wherever this is, Round Rock, Texas. Whatever your little heart desires. In my opinion, a page title should be something cute and catchy. I would say use AI.
I was gonna say that.
Use
That's your
AI.
best friend.
So you can use Gemini. I don't want to discredit Gemini. Chat GPT, but there's plenty of AI. There's plenty of things. You can even just Google it if you want to. Some AI is gonna pop up and help.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said to use AI.
I used for the title, for the page title to use AI, so you can get something catchy, right? So instead of, see this example shows the property address as the page title. I think you should do something fun, something living in sunny South Florida, get rid of the snow and come to the beach, you know, silly things like that, right? You want to do something that's gonna be catchy for the client. All right, once you've done your page title, the next section will be the featured image or video. So a couple of things to note, if you want to change the hero image, the hero image is always going to be the first image pulled from the MLS. So if the first image that a listing agent has on the MLS is, let's say, the aerial view, that's going to be your hero image, because remember, we pulled directly from the MLS.
Okay.
If you want to change that, you can just click the default listing image drop down and select another image that's on the MLS. Don't have to keep it as the first one. It's just going to be the one that happens automatically. Okay. Now, once you've done that, just keep in mind when you're adding pictures or videos, you have the ability to add new content. So let's say you went and took a picture of the listing yourself because you wanted to add some sort of cute branding thing. I don't know, you got creative. Snap the photo, you can absolutely upload a brand new picture that's not part of the MLS. One thing to note, if you want to add instead of an image, let it be a video, it must be on YouTube or Vimeo. Vimeo? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it can't just be the actual file. It must be somewhere else. So it has to live on YouTube or Vimeo first, okay? Okay. Now, again, the images can pull from the MLS or you can choose a custom image. All right, then you're gonna see the contents of the page. So you'll have property landing, so the core details. You'll have the agent information, the image carousel, the map view, and the default agent contact. So those are gonna be all the contents that we can add to this landing page. Let's move forward to talk a little bit about those contents. So in the core details module, which is usually the first one, that gives you the core details of the listing. Again, this is pulling from the MLS. So whatever's on the MLS is what's gonna auto-populate into here, okay? Now you can enter a property title. So you see Great Property in Round Rock was the example that they used. And if you want text to display above the listing details, and then you can choose to hide any of the details using the toggle button. So what does that mean? Let's say you wanna hide the address. Let's say if you've taken any of my classes, I'm gonna tell you to hide the price. Because I like to hide prices. I think that gives someone a reason to contact you, right? So you can hide things within those core listing contents. You don't have to show it all. If you want to hide bed and bath, I wouldn't. And the only thing I would suggest to hide is maybe the address, maybe in the property title, you put a beautiful property in Miramar, and then hide the whole address so people aren't going and stalking or Zillowing or redlining or, right? You're giving them the ability to just stay on there because now they can't Google it directly, and definitely hide that price, okay? Because in the title, you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Amazing property in Miramar under 700,000, right? Like now at that point, oh, which part of Miramar? Oh my gosh,
Right.
what, 700? What, right? You're gonna get people excited. All right, so the next thing is the agent information, which is not configurable within the website backend, which is why the first thing I started with in the class was your marketing profile. Because your marketing profile is the only place you can make any edits to your agent profile, okay? So making sure that you have that done beforehand will save you a lot of time if you start, because then, you know, you don't wanna go back and forth. Start off properly. One thing that it does talk about here is that it's not configurable. However, you can rearrange all of these contents. None of these contents have to live in the order that they are. You can rearrange it however your heart desires.
And all of that is under contract.
Yes. Now, the map view module is actually pretty cool. I really like it. I think it's also gonna depend on the properties themselves. You wanna think a single family home most likely are gonna be with people that either have children or grandchildren, maybe they need to stay within a school district, maybe, right? And so that map view will actually break down the boundaries of the area, of the neighborhood that the property is located in. So if you see here in the example, in just a minute, you'll see where it shows the outline of the neighborhood. Red dot is the actual property. If you want to remove it altogether, you can. That's up to you. I mean, I think it's a cool little feature because then what happens is they click into it. It's going to redirect them to your website. And it's going to show them that neighborhood and they can actually see listings. So that's what's cool about the boundary outline is that if they click into that boundary outline, it can show them other properties that are within that boundary. Okay. All right, again, you can hide it if you don't want to show it, that's up to you. The next thing is you can do some custom content. So you can add modules. One module that they talk about a lot is like a floor plan. So let's say you have received a floor plan from the community and you want to add that, you can definitely add that section and then it'll just prop a little picture of your floor plan. And that's just an example. I think it's going to show it here. Yeah, so floor plan and layout, then some content. What is it about? So it talks about this home blends classic appeal with a modern update. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Then here, you're going to see that you can actually add up to 3 images, but only 1 is required for those custom contents. So let's say you do add a module for floor plan, but you only have 1 picture. That's okay. Only 1 is required. But if you have more photos, go right ahead. And I can also share this PowerPoint. That way you guys have it all in one if you guys want. I can do that for you, but that just means you got to keep coming back to my classes every week. No, of course, just saying. Okay, another thing that they do a lot as well is the virtual tour. So a lot of you guys are paying photographers to not only take your listing photos, but to create Matterport videos and that kind of thing. Don't let it go to waste. You can add it here to your property landing page. It doesn't only have to live on the MLS. It can live right here as well. That way the client has everything right there with a potential lead.
So if you get it straight from the MLS, it's not gonna come automatically.
I don't believe videos from the MLS, like those kind of links will transfer in.
Right,
but you can use the link that was provided to you by the photographer in this section. It doesn't have to be on YouTube. So the virtual tours, remember earlier we talked about custom videos had to be on YouTube or Vimeo. This virtual tour does not. You can use the photographer's website. Okay. So you see here, you just have to ensure that you have that HTTPS / situation, and you can add whichever video it is. All right. Now, again, we talked about how you can reorder the contents. Remember, on the right-hand side, you have a preview of what that site will look like. Play with it. See what you're most happy with. See what's aesthetically pleasing to you, because it's probably going to be aesthetically pleasing to someone else. My suggestion though is always make sure that you have that contact form on there, maybe a little bit higher. The way I kind of like to do it is the core details, the images, my contact box, then I can rearrange everything after that. But they got to see 2 of the most important things that they want to see, right? Then boom, I'm adding my contact box. Then all right, here's some little more details if you want to keep looking. But by the time they already saw the pictures, they're going to know whether they want to contact me or not, right? They can skip over the box and see, oh, a floor plan? All right, let me call her because I really like that floor plan, but I want to know how much it is and where in Miramar this house is, right? So I definitely would say move that contact box up. Do not leave it towards the bottom. All right, you also have some cool other settings. So on the override, this is where you see right here, this is an example of like, let's say a social media post, like on Facebook, for example, how that preview link will show up. So you can rearrange how that looks, make sure that the title is what you want it to be. Again, if you don't want it to be the address, you need to make sure in the overrides, you're going in and updating whatever it is that you want it to be titled. Okay, but the title will come in from that initial core details section. Okay. But this is going to be really important. I know it's a small detail, but it's a good detail because by the time you go to share it on, let's say, Facebook, sometimes they look a little wonky. right? Because maybe that first image you chose is not the best looking image, and maybe you didn't realize that. So this gives you that last opportunity to say, oh, this is what the consumer is going to see. So you want to make sure, because I want you guys to keep in mind, these property landing pages will not be found unless you share them. Okay, there's not something that lives on your website. It's not something that the client can go in and just type in Omer's website and then look for landing pages. They don't know what that is. Landing page is something you create on the back end so you can promote something specific. So you have to share this. So this gives you a cool opportunity to make sure it looks good as you're sharing. All right. Then over here, it talks about the URL. So generate and customize the URL of the page that you created. So again, whatever that title is normally is what will transfer over to the actual page's name when they put in. So the way it's going to look, it'll say daviesherrera.kw.com / whatever that page is called. Okay. So if I name it 123 Main Street, which I know I don't want to use the address, right? So I can put 700K in Miramar. And that's what that title will be. So when somebody sees that link, that's what it'll look like. And you'll see it right here. See, jessica.kw.com, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Most important thing is to hit publish. After you've done all of that customization to your landing page, yes, it will save the draft. No, it will not publish unless you hit publish. Okay, so you got to make sure you're hitting publish so that way it can go through. Right now, once you hit publish, again, this is not something that the consumer will find unless you're sharing. Okay.
Sharing it through
Social media, sharing it through text, sharing it on a WhatsApp group, sharing it however it is that you want to share it. But remember, nobody's just going to be able to move. Okay. All right, guys, this is pretty much it for landing pages. I do want to go into command really quick just to kind of show you quickly how we get to that template and everything we just saw. So it kind of ties in. Give me 1 second.
You're going to share this with them.
Yes, Barry. It's your turn, Barry.
I don't know, maybe you showed them already, but did you show them how they can share that?
The link is available afterwards, and you just copy and paste the link.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Come up there.
After you hit publish, yes, ma'am. And it'll live right underneath publish. You'll see the whole link. And you can just click into it. And something I would do, so you're not having to go back and forth to command every time you want this link, is save it somewhere. Put it in your notepad, put it in an email, put it somewhere where you can easily go in and click and share. Yeah, sure.
So you put the MLS number.
Search. Right here, where it says search by address, go ahead and click in. And then type in, so I'll read it to you, A113222936. Okay, go ahead and click it. But that's okay, you're just doing it for the sake of the example if you want to keep, yeah, so that's all right. If you want, just click in it. And now it's gonna pull those photos and all that stuff. But here, the next step would be you adding a title. So you see here, it already pulled all those photos, pulled the information, has your contact info right here in the center. I forgot this was touchscreen, sorry. And I'm gonna jump in so you'll see now too. Okay. All right, so remember in command, you go down to consumer and then the big blue button, edit my website. Once you have done that, this is very small. You'll see under quick start, property landing page template.
It has to start there. What is that?
That's a good question. Oh, you can favorite.
Oh, okay.
You can favorite all of them here.
So after that, you gotta go back to.
Go back where? You stay right there. That's where you're building it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not leaving that page.
Building. But what about, no, you're talking about, for the open house.
No, I'm not on open houses yet.
Okay.
No, not on open houses yet. I'm still on the property landing page. So once you click on property landing page template, you come in here, you enter, can I actually use that MLS number? A11223.
A113222936.
I have to get that to you again. Sorry. A11.
A113222936. 3 cities.
And then you'll see it'll show up. Once you click, you give it a moment, you'll start to see on the right-hand side, it starts to pull in. You give it a nice property title. So this
Okay, this
is,
is my listing.
okay, so I just gave it a nice title, beautiful property under 700,000. I have my custom image if I wanted a custom image, or you can do your default listing image. And again, the default listing image will be that first image. I don't like that. That's not the property, right? So I can do custom image and I can go in and search. If I'm the listing agent, I have all of the photos, right? So I can go in and I can pull the original photos. Now, then let's scroll. You have your contents. So that property landing, excuse me, the core details. So right here, enter the property. I don't know where this is. I'm just gonna fib right now, property in Riviera Isles.
No, it's in the.
It's okay. I'm not publishing this. We're all good. Then you have the hide buttons. This is your opportunity to hide the title, hide the category, the price, the address. I'm absolutely hiding those two things. Do I want to hide bed and bath? No. Lot size, no. Hide description, no. I'm good with that. See, so right here, it already says property in Riviera Isles, gives that info. No price is attached anywhere. Then I have the agent information, which is the second little section right here. So you see that agent information is already an opportunity for them to hit contact. Okay. But it's nice and small. So it looks like, you know, kind of cute and discreet. It's like, oh, I'm not shouting at you to contact me, but I will in just a second. You know what I mean? Minimize this real quick. Okay, then you have the landing, excuse me, the image carousel. Now this image carousel is pulling directly from the MLS. So any pictures they have 75 pictures, all 75 are available to see. Okay. Then you have that map view that we discussed. That map view is going to be the pretty little outline, which is right here. Okay, and you can hide it if you'd like. And then lastly, you have contact me. Now I am going to put the contact me above that map view just because, again, I want them to contact me as many times as they can. I want them to see it so it's in their subconscious. Okay. Once I've done all that, if I wanted to add a module, this is where I can add a module. Okay. Remember that virtual tour option lives right there. Once you hit the virtual tour, you have to enter the address where it's coming from. Right, again, you can use the virtual tour that is provided by your company. Oh, look, take a look. It actually had, oh, look. To answer our question, if it's in the MLS, does it pull in? Yes, it does, because look, it's right here. Oh, no, it's not. Maybe we have to enter info. Maybe they were smart.
So, but if you get the one from the MLS, you can take the address from the MLS and put it in there.
You can take the website address, yes.
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 Because you can create the tool from the MLS.
Yes, yes. And so you can take whatever URL they provide you and just paste it in here. Just remember, it has to have that HTTPS. Yes, very, very important. Now, once you've done all of this, the most important thing to do after that, you want to jump back up and go into overrides. When you are in overrides, you're going to see here that title. And if you want to do a quick description, if you want to do a custom image, you can add a custom image. All of that, just make sure that you have that checked out so you know what it looks like when you're going to share, and then hit publish. Okay. So that's the property landing pages. Now we're going to jump into our open house.
So with the the property landing page,
Yes.
when someone clicks on the link, it just opens up the URL and they would have to go into the section of putting their information to contact me. They would have to do that. There wouldn't be like a way that we could.
It doesn't automatically capture info, no.
Right.
And the reason
there's
why.
no way to have it to pop up or anywhere.
It's not a pop-up, no. They would have to scroll down and then they can see it, but there's two different opportunities for them to do that, yeah, but no, it's not a pop-up. What you can make a pop-up is when someone is just going to your website and browsing, you can set up in these settings how many properties they can view before they're required to sign in. And by signing in, they have to create an account, which means they get added into your command automatically. So they have different options like 0 properties, which 0 recommended. I do not recommend that you don't allow anyone to view a property because now you just discouraged me and I'm gonna go on to the next agent, right? They have 2, which I personally don't think that's enough. I don't find value in only being able to see 2 properties. I'm still gonna get a little upset that you stopped me at 2. But then they have 10. By 10 properties, if I've seen 10 properties on your website, I'm interested. I like the way this looks. I like the way it is to search on this website. I'm most likely gonna enter my information. So you can limit that, Lorraine. You just, as far as the landing page itself, there's no pop-up. But on your regular website, yes, it will pop up for them. It'll stop them. It'll have like the information for them to sign up. Yes.
So as soon as you create it, if you don't publish it, it's not going anywhere.
Correct.
But if you wanna, if anybody goes to your website and to see any landing page that you create,
They can't.
they cannot do
No,
that. You
landing
cannot.
pages are not, landing pages are separate from your actual website. So a landing page is intended
No,
for
but,
specific items.
no, I know, but
Yeah.
can I automatically, I create that landing page and attach it to my website?
No, that would be called a custom page. A custom page is something that lives on your website. A landing page is something that will live apart from your website. It won't be
Yeah.
viewable. You can't view it from your website. If you wanted to do something on the actual website, that's called a custom page.
Custom.
Yeah, a custom page, which you can do that if you want, but I'm gonna be honest, that's gonna add a little bit more work to you because now you have to go in and make sure because it doesn't automatically update as your listing is going pending
That's why
or
it
sold.
doesn't remove.
Correct, which is why the landing pages are the option for this, because once you change the status on it, it doesn't matter, you don't have to share that link anymore, right? But when it's on your website, now you look like you're not organized because why do you have these listings that are no longer for sale, right? And so you want to think like the consumer. I wouldn't suggest doing something like that on the website unless you have somebody in the back end constantly updating it.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're gonna have that, do it on the website for sure. You can do like my featured listings, and you can have a landing page with multiple listings. You can do that, or not a custom page, excuse me. But you wanna have somebody that's gonna constantly be updating them. All right, let's look into the open house landing pages, which is actually something that's really simple to do. So the open house landing pages, the first thing you wanna do is go to your website. You just go to your website. You're not even in command. You just go to your website. So my website is daviesherrera.kw.com. Once you go to that website, you want to search for the property that you're looking to do the open house page for. Then when you are on the page of that property, you're going to click onto the URL, and on the end, after that last slash, you're gonna type in open house. You type in open house. So you go to your website, you search for the property. Again, you can search by MLS number, way easier. Once you search, you're gonna come into the actual property's, URL. Then you click at the top, just remember / open house. Okay. Now, once you type in the open house,
Hold on, baby.
Yes.
My, I don't know. Is that? But you're saying number in regards to MLS number or the listing?
the MLS number. What's the address? I'll look for it.
5601
Mhm.
Northwest 18th Street.
Is it for sale or for rent?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's see, what city is it?
Florida Hill.
This is why I say that it's just so much easier with the MLS ID, because what we have to remember is that we have access to every single MLS.
You want me to give you the
Oh, look.
MLS number?
So I see one sold. Is it sold or is it for sale right now?
It's active. You want me to give you the MLS number?
Yes.
A and then Adams, 115 89 391.
Thank you.
Yeah, even with the MLS, it so bad.
5601 Northwest 18th Street?
It's a town, I don't know if that's right.
No, it shouldn't be.
I was able to put it in the landing page.
This is why I like doing these live, so we can talk about how to do this the best. Hmm. How much is it?
280.
Why does it, is this it?
Here it is.
Why does it say undisclosed address?
I don't know, it said that on the landing page, well,
My suggestion, and this is, it may not have anything to do with the MLS, but I would check
but
to
those
see if
pop
there's,
up on my picture.
no?
I'm gonna open up another page. That's weird. Well, what were you saying? I'm sorry, you were.
I was gonna say to check your settings in the MLS to see if there was anything for some reason that would have blocked an address for online. Like, you know how when we syndicate online, I don't know if that had something to do with it. It has all your info, but you're saying this is not your, these aren't your photos?
That was it, yeah.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so I don't know why, but for some reason I had to put in the address, and I'm gonna kind of do that again. So I can walk you guys through in case something like that happens to you guys. Okay, so 5601 Northwest 18th Street in Lauderhill. Now, when I do that, you're gonna find a ton of other addresses that are close, so I'm just gonna search. Once I hit search, there's an option when you hit it again, and it's gonna say all properties near. And so, okay, it'll bring you here, you see your map view. You may have to just zoom into the property. You see it broke it down right there, it showed me exactly where the property is.
You don't look at it on that side.
I just had to zoom in and then click the button. It shouldn't be this complicated, but I'm gonna assume it's because for whatever reason, it says undisclosed address. And again, because this is pulling from the MLS, it may be something that's in the MLS, but if it's not, Lorraine, you need to let me know, because then that's something with the syndication through Lista.
So it does hide, then they gotta speak.
Yeah, it'll show it, it's just, it doesn't recognize, okay, this is the exact address because it's not letting me show you that this is the exact address, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
But this is to add.
No, you search for the property.
Okay, search for it.
Correct, yep, because you have to associate it to the property first. Now, once you're on this page of your property, you come here to the top.
So I can put the MLS number there.
You can, Once you put the, once you click into the URL, you're gonna do /open house. Now, once you do /open house, you'll see it load up. And now it just changed into your open house sign up sheet. So it immediately will say, welcome to our open house. It'll give a box here where they enter their first name, last name, email, and phone number. And then over here, you will see it has 2 terms and agreement little options that they need to agree to. So number 1 are the terms of use and the privacy policy for KW's site. But then the most important one is by checking this box, you agree that Davies Herrera may contact you at the telephone number and email address that you provided. So what are you doing? You are crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Because ain't no TCPA nothing here, okay? Because you're just agreed that you are giving me permission to contact you, even if you are on the do not call list, okay? So they must click that in order to move on. So, and you'll see here, even if your number is on a federal, state, or internal do not call list and may send marketing calls and text to you using an automated system. So KW is covering you on all bases right here. Yes. Oh, which is why I like using this, because it's like, all right, now you've covered everything. Because for example, what I remember when I first joined like real estate, I was helping agents do sign up sheets for open houses and we would use Google Forms. Cool, it was great. I love to export it and stuff, but something that I would always catch us forgetting is that stupid I agree information button, right? So this avoids you forgetting because it's already creating it for you. Now let me jump back here, make sure that we've kind of gone through everything in the presentation. So now, so that's where it's up to you. How do you want to showcase it at your open house? Are you gonna have an iPad where the client can go in and enter their info and it's already on the landing page? Are you gonna have a QR code that all they have to do is scan? And if I give you my humble opinion, I would say have some sort of a tablet there for them. Even if it's your computer, but have something there for them so they can't say, oh yeah, I'm scanning, don't worry. And then they just walk away, tour the whole house, and you have no idea that their name was Mickey Mouse, right? You wanna make sure that you're giving them, hey, sign in right here before we continue, right? So it's gonna be up to you how you wanna do that. What this is creating is just the source. Where is it gonna go? Yeah, it's just the system that it's creating. All right, now once they sign up, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. And actually, we'll do it right here. Once they sign up, you're gonna see a cool screen.
Those 2 boxes, you just check them.
Well, you have to enter the information. Now keep in mind, what it will not allow someone to do is like create a totally fake number, like too many digits or something like that, like it's not gonna work. What it doesn't know is that if the number you entered is real or not. As long as it fits the 10-digit characters, it's gonna provide it, right? But if you see something 0, 0, 0, 0, it's not gonna go through.
What about the email?
Same thing with the email address. If it's a fictitious domain, it normally does not push that through. It'll say correct, things like that. But if it is, like let's say they say mickeymouse@gmail.com, oh, that's for sure gonna go through because they're using gmail.com, right?
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
But I heard there's a system, if they put an email address that does not exist, should not go through.
I just don't know if that's integrated here. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's integrated here for sure. Once they've signed up, first and foremost, I immediately received new open house contact form received from Davies Herrera. So that's on my app. So if you don't have the app, download it because immediately that came through. So that means that person's already living in my CRM, period. Whether they're real or not, they're living there. It's up to me to contact them, right? Then here you'll see after they signed up, they're gonna see this pretty little thing. Now I want everybody to scan that QR code that you see here. Come on, phone. I want to talk about this QR code. So this QR code will let them view the property on their own device. Okay. Now, what that means is if they do not have a KW app download it on their phone, it'll open up as a browser. Did it open up for you guys as a browser? Or did it open up on your app?
Browser, I have an app first browser.
Okay. Okay, so yours opened the browser as well. Okay, perfect. Now, if they have the app and they're already associated to someone, the app will not remove their current association and put you as the agent. Am I making sense there?
Yeah.
So if they come into my open house and already have Miss Lorraine as their designated agent, the client's just coming to visit my open house and they scan that QR code, it will not switch Lorraine to me. It'll keep it as their existing agent. Okay, now the goal for this as well is it can open up the opportunity for them to continue scrolling on your page, because if you saw, it goes to my website. Led you right to my site where all my information is there. All right, now, if you're gonna be at an open house and you're gonna have an iPad or your computer here, this is gonna happen so fast, you're gonna just want the people to keep moving. You can tell them, hey, go ahead and scan the QR code if you want a direct link to the property so you can see more later when you leave, blah, blah. You can do that, but just keep in mind that part, they're probably just gonna sign in and wanna run so they can see the house. So this is important, and I want you guys to always scan it to make sure it works, because there are gonna be your high S's and your high C's and the disc profile that are gonna go in and be like, I need every single detail, let me scan this, right? And they're gonna read your whole little bio, so make sure you got no typos. You just wanna make sure that you're attracting every personality type.
Oh, look, Davey, the website does have a pop-up.
I know, I said that, yeah. The website will have a pop-up because you can designate in the settings how many properties someone can view without signing up. So it'll depend. If you have it on 0, that means as soon as they go to your website, it'll pop up. But if you have it at 2 or 10, it'll just vary. But yes, the website itself does have a pop-up, but your landing pages will not, okay? Right.
And it's a pop-up that doesn't even say register here to see. It says you have access to 6 more listings. Sign up to view unlimited properties and connect with me. I like that.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
just their
like
way
it's
of capturing
If
it.
it's an algorithm that's looking at
Yeah,
what they're looking at in that price point. And I'm assuming, because I haven't signed up, that when they do sign up, it will give them similar.
it'll start giving them stuff based on location for sure. And it'll start giving them more things that they're, so if they notice that they're looking for single family homes, they'll start to, here, featured properties are all gonna be single family, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay, so once the person has already signed up, you can either refresh the screen and it'll bring you back to that original sign up sheet, so you can keep it moving for every guest that comes to your open house, or you can click that little back to sign in button, okay? That's the process, is when you're sitting there at the property waiting for people, first person comes up, signs in, you can either refresh or back to sign in, and then now the next person can sign up.
So they, what about if you wanna see the list of the person that come to your open house?
So that's a great question, and we'll actually touch on that in just a second, because I'm gonna show you guys something called lead routing, which is where you want to associate these forms, okay? So we'll show you that in just a second. This one. Okay, so we're done there. Let me jump in so I can show you the lead routing.
David, at the bottom where it has the activity history, and it shows us how many views, saves, and shares. That's just specific for people who came onto our website.
Yes, yes. All right, so again, this is recorded, so I may run through this a little bit faster, but just want you guys to see. This could be for any type of landing page that you create, could be an open house, could be whatever. So when you click on your name, you're gonna go to settings. So Mary, this actually brings us back to those other settings that you were asking about. This is one of them. You jump over here, you go to command settings. When you go to command settings, yeah, we're gonna go to contacts. So it's your name, settings, command settings, contacts. Now, once you're in contacts, you're gonna go to lead management. Lead management. Now, I want you to understand why this lives under contacts. The reason why is because lead management happens when somebody goes to your site or to your application and sign up. So that's why it's under contacts, because as soon as that happens, they become a contact in your database. So we need to go to lead management.
Okay, you said, what is the process again? Comment setting?
You want me to start from the top?
No, I just need the process, I'm just writing
Yeah, so you first click on your name, then you click on settings,
settings.
then you go to command settings. Contacts. And then lead management. Now, once you've chosen lead management, you'll see this. It'll probably be empty, okay? What you do is you have to create a rule. So you're basically creating a rule for any type of lead that comes in using your site or your app can automatically be tagged and added to Smart Plans, okay? So if you've taken my online lead generation class, we've talked about how you need to have your Smart Plans in place first. Same thing with open houses, same thing with anything. You want to have your Smart Plan in place before you go using command at a high level because you can drop the ball. True. You're missing a step when it comes to the follow-up. So first thing, let's just talk about the rule for right now. Rule title is open house landing page. Now, once you've typed in the title, great. Which lead sources is this rule for? We are not going to select all because it's not appropriate to everything because I don't use everything. So what I need to type in here is website. I'm going to type in KW. I'm going to make sure I have landing page. And remember, it's an open house landing page. You can do KW site and KW app. Just get them all in at once. Okay, then you have auto tags. So let's just say I put a ton, but I'm just going to stick to one for right now. I'm going to do landing page. So anytime we create a landing page and someone signs in using that landing page contact form, you are going to go ahead and auto tag them so they can be landing page.
Not KW landing page.
Yes, KW landing page, sorry. So if my lead source, I'm making a rule for any landing page I create. So this is going to be a generic situation for command in the back end. So any landing page that I create, I'm going to auto tag them landing page because I want the client to automatically be tagged so I know where they came from. Now, will I know exactly which landing page? In the timeline, it can show you. So in the contacts timeline, it'll actually show you which page they clicked on. All right, so that's going to be really important. Look at that timeline because that's where a lot of details come in. All right, then you create a color if you want to, make it cute. But most importantly is add to Smart Plans. So let's just say all the landing pages you're going to create are about a property. You can create a very generic, just follow-up plan when it comes to that, right? It doesn't have to be anything specific. Thank you for looking at 123 Main Street. It could just be thank you for clicking on my page. For more information, contact me here. Maybe 3 days later, you're sending another email, etc. Which Scott Leroy Marketing can help you guys create landing pages and can help you guys create Smart Plans. I want you guys in my classroom because I want you guys to know how to do this, but I also want you guys to know the power that you have in Scott Leroy's team. His team can assist us in all of that. And I want you guys to know a little secret. A lot of market centers are starting to question if we should keep them, if we shouldn't, because of the shift in market, right?
To keep what?
To keep Scott Leroy Marketing's resources, his team. Because that's part of what the market center pays for, which you guys pay for monthly. So one of the things he's offering is like super duper extra agent support because he wants to show every office, hey, I'm worth it. And in my opinion, I think he is absolutely worth it. He can be leveraged in so many ways and save you guys time. So with that being said, you pick whatever Smart Plan it is that you're going to add these people to. So I'm just going to do this one just for the sake. Remember, this should have been done prior to you creating a rule. And then you create a rule. So now every time that somebody comes in through a landing page, they're going to have those rules associated to them. They'll automatically be tagged landing page and they're automatically going to be added to a Smart Plan. So that's the best way to handle your lead sources and making sure that they're going in with a tag ready to go. After you have the conversation, I encourage you to update that tag. You can keep landing page because, hey, it's good to know that these people came from online lead gen, but you want to add buyer, renter, seller, you know, whatever it is that they're going to be, because you want to be able to send them different smart plans. But we're done. What kind of questions do you guys have?
Can you just refresh the process again for the open house landing page?
Yes. All right, so first thing you do, jump into your website, not Command, but
Your
your
website.
website. Once you're in your website, search for the property.
But
So
not log into your website, just go to the list.
just go to the website and go to the listing. Yes, ma'am. And as we notice, sometimes it's gonna come up easily, sometimes it's not. What's the unit number, Lorraine?
4.
See, so this one, again, we know that it says undisclosed address, which is why it gives us this issue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit enter. I'm not gonna select any, I'm just gonna hit enter. Now, once I hit enter, I'm gonna go back to my little box. So you see here, it says near and then the address. So I wanna make sure it says that, and then I'm gonna zoom in. Again, it's not and shouldn't be this complicated. Yeah, I wanna make sure you guys know that there's always workarounds to things, okay? So everything is still possible. Now, once you found the location, zoom in, you should be able to see your little listing blue box there with the price point. It says her name, so we know it's the accurate listing. I'm gonna click it. Once you are in the listing, you're gonna click at the top. You're gonna make sure it's not highlighted. You're gonna add a forward slash. Yeah, you click on the top of the URL. Make sure it is not highlighted, so click on the end so you can keep typing.
Oh, it's fine.
And you're gonna forward slash open house. Once you've done the forward slash open house, it will now convert to an open house sign up sheet. So now it says welcome. You saw what I was looking at? Okay. Had to give them both the side eye.
And then put back into it.
No, so once you're in the actual listing, you should see your URL has a bunch of numbers on the end of it. Right, so you wanna click into that, but make sure it's not highlighted, so you double click. So you click it once, it's highlighted, click it again, you should be living at the end of those numbers, where you can now type, doing forward slash open house.
Is it cases there?
Nope. Yeah, and say that's true. Click on the top again. And yeah, you're basically like refreshing it. So then once it refreshes, it'll pop up and it'll say welcome to our open house. This is already the open house page, because if you scroll down, the only difference between this one and that is that instead of it saying welcome to our open house, for some reason it says welcome to the address. It should say welcome to open house, but if you scroll down, you'll see that it does have the sign up sheet. I'm gonna look into if that's happening with different addresses or what, because I didn't change anything, I didn't type anything in the back end, I just did slash open house. But at least we know it works. We just have to work on that title and see what's going on.
Another thing,
Sure.
before you make them sign, you click those.
They must.
They-
You should not.
You should not.
You should not, because then I can say, oh, Omer already had it clicked before I even got to sign in. You're
Okay.
not giving the client the power to say yes and agree to
Okay.
letting you
So
contact.
you just ask them to
They
make,
sign in,
sign it, but if you realize they did not,
they cannot move forward without checking those boxes.
okay.
Yeah. And my suggestion, be right there, man. Check it every so often, make sure that they finished it, you know what I mean? Look, ultimately, I want you guys to think like every consumer. You're at a store, for example, Famous Footwear, I used to work there, worked there 6 years, and my biggest thing was loyalty program, baby, sign up for my rewards program, hi, would you like to receive coupons, right? If you don't give me that information, what am I gonna do? I can't get mad about it. Just gotta keep going. Oh, you know what? Not a problem. Next time you come, I bet you I'm gonna convince you to sign up for me, right? They don't wanna sign into your open house. All you can do is say, not a problem. Whatever you need, please let me know. Because not everybody's gonna sign in. I've done plenty of open houses where I have a solid 5 out of 10 people that tell me I don't want to. But I'll get like their sister to sign up, somebody that's in their family. Maybe it's not the client themselves, but that's all right. It's elite is elite. So it's okay if they don't sign up. So if you get that, backlash, that's okay, no problem, no biggie, baby. Just keep it moving. Call me if you need me.